if you are fearful that something awful is going to happen, I want you to go back in and do some meditation and think, thank you for joining me today. One of the struggles I'm having with my channel is trying to decide what information to share with you, how much of that information to share with you, and how to present it so you're aware but not overwhelmed or scared. If you have questions or you have concerns or you have a certain thing you want information on, I might not have any idea, but if you want to ask me about it, you can, and we'll see if we can find out together. But today, basically what I wanted to do was to talk to you about releasing your fear, because I am going to be bringing up some different things, and I have some different topics I'm going to talk about that might instill some fear in you because it's different and it's not something you're aware of probably. Although when I think you hear it, it'll resonate with you and you'll be like, that makes sense. But today I want to talk a little bit about releasing your fear and how to do that. And what I personally have come to the conclusion of is I am studying the law of one. And if you're not familiar with that, I recommend you maybe look into that. But the law of one is a spiritual concept basically that basically says that we are all one. We are all unified. You know, what I do affects you, what you do affects me, kind of that butterfly effect, but for everybody, for everything in the universe, for every planet, for every other being. It's all related, and we are all here to support each other and to help each other. So what I'm personally trying to do is, when I went down this rabbit hole, I was very fearful because a lot of the negative things going on in the world, which again I'll be talking about in later videos, but a lot of the negative things going on in the world were just making me sad and depressed and very upset. So I had to kind of do a lot of deep meditation and come up with some ways to cope with that and what to do. And that's what brought me to this YouTube channel, was to share information with people who need to know what's going on, but maybe don't need to know the depth of all of it, but just to be aware. But when I share that information, I want you to remember that your faith in your personal strength, in your spiritual journey, and in your beliefs is what will get you through anything. Just know that there's a purpose to it. Me personally, I believe in the law of one. I believe in reincarnation. I believe that my soul is on a journey to become godlike and learn different lessons. I believe that I am here right now in this time and existence to do exactly what I'm doing. And I came pre-planned knowing what was going to happen, and everything's happening for a reason. I do still have free will. Everybody always has free will, and I can always screw it up. But in the end, I know that death is just a temporary closing of this chapter and will open me up to the next chapter of my life, which quite often will be to continue my journey and my soul growth. So I guess for me personally, what I'm trying to say is that the worst thing in the world that can happen to you is death. And for me, death is just another chapter opening up. Death is difficult for the people around you. Death is difficult for the people who love you. But again, for me personally, and my personal beliefs, I just see it as one part of the play ending and you're going into another play. And that's okay. And I believe we follow our spiritual family, or our spiritual connections into the next life, into other generations, other reincarnations in different ways. And so it's just a temporary situation we're in right now. There's nothing that's going to happen to you that's going to be too awful. Anything bad that happens to you is by design. It's to teach you a lesson. It's to give you some kind of perspective that you didn't have before. And most likely you asked for it in the beginning. That's what you signed up for. When you signed up to come in this world, this is one of the things you decided you wanted to experience. Maybe you wanted to experience this. I know that's not easy to hear when you're going through something horrific, but for me personally, that's how I deal with the awful things in the world, is that a lot of times that is just somebody's personal journey. And in the law of one, there is no good and evil. There just is the law of one, which is, like this is the law of one. This is just it. Anything that deviates from that is a distortion of the law of one. So love is all there is. Anything that's not love is a distortion of love. And it's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It just is. As three-dimension people or humans, we have put the labels of good and bad on it. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I mean, that's how we understand things. But I'm just saying that there's a bigger picture out there. Our spiritual journey is so much in infancy right now that we are going to grow so much beyond that. And as we grow, we become better. We become better loving entities, in my opinion. My suggestion again is to release your fear and replace it with faith. So if you are fearful that something awful is going to happen, I want you to go back in and do some meditation and think either what is the cause of this, or what do I need to learn from this, or if there's anything I can do to fix this, what is it? And then do it. If there's nothing I can do to fix this, then let it go. There's nothing you can do. Quit stressing about it. You are just wasting valuable energy on something you don't have any control over. So leave it to God or to Source or to the universe. But at the same time, you need to stay positive. If you're putting energies out there that are negative and woe is me and my life's awful and I don't have any money and people are mean to me and blah, 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 you're putting out all that negative. Guess what? You're going to get back. Negative. You're going to get it all back because that's what you're attracting. You're giving it out. That's what you're going to get back. You need to condition yourself to be very positive, very positive. Positive people get positive results. You get what you're looking for. If you are looking for negative things, you're going to get negative things. If you are looking for positive things and looking for good things, that's what you're going to find. You're going to find the good things. And anything that's a negative on the way is just a little challenge that you need to get through. It's a learning experience. Learn from it and move on. It's okay. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to die. In my belief, that's okay, because now I've got another life I get to go to. And I'm not trying to belittle death or life. I'm just trying to say that if you look at the world that way, it becomes less fearful. It's less to be afraid of, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? With faith, all things are acceptable, all experiences, and those are those of love. Okay, so like I said, even if it's a bad thing, it's you're going to learn some kind of lesson from it. All things are love or a distortion of love to some degree. And when I say distortion, I mean it's not pure love. It's either way too much or way not. It's not perfect, but it's a distortion. It's not quite where it needs. The illusion that we're in, that we're living through this life, is actually, it's a teaching mechanism. It's giving us lessons. It's teaching us things. It's making us a better person. So when you think about reincarnation, if you think about somebody who comes back and they're an excellent pianist at the age of 3, well, that was a skill or condition they learned in a prior life, and it happened to come through again this life. So again, every experience you have is a learning experience. When you're overwhelmed or frustrated or feel beaten down, faith is the clarity at the present moment. So when you're at your lowest, that's when you need to go within yourself. I need to have faith and ask, okay, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What do I need to be doing? What is my next step? And try to be positive. If there's anything positive about it, pull it out. If it is that you are still alive, or if it's that your best friends with you, or whatever it is, pull all the positive out. Do not dwell on the negative, because you will attract more negative. You need to stay positive and just go introspective and say, okay, this is what's going on. What do I need to do with this? I went through divorce several years ago. At first, I took it very hard. I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And then at some point, I got the realization that, you know what, this is just the next chapter of my life. I need to quit trying to fix it. I need to quit trying to deny it. I need to quit trying to, get it back, because obviously he didn't want it back. And I had to come to terms with that. And when I finally did that, it was very liberating, because then I was like, wait a minute, this is an opportunity for me. Look, I have got an opportunity to do some different things in my life. It's not going on the path I thought, but it's not the end of the world. I got other things I can do. And you choose to look at it a positive way. Oh, well, now I've got these options. And it was at a very challenging time in my life. So don't get me wrong. It was difficult. And I learned some valuable lessons. But again, my attitude towards it, my friends were like, oh my God, I can't believe you're taking this so well. And I just was like, well, what am I supposed to do? What else can I do? But I believe my attitude towards that situation and many other situations has helped me to do as well as I have. Personally. If you don't learn the lessons you expected or wanted to learn before you came into this life, you will just be recalibrated and brought back out, and you will go through it again to try and learn the desired path of evolution, whatever that was before. And that's okay. It's just like a redo. It's a mulligan. It's a do-over. Going to do it over. And if you just look at life like that, it's like an endless video game with unlimited lives. And you're going to change avatars sometimes. You're going to change into a different, person, a different species maybe. And just look at it like that. It's a lifelong fun game of learning experiences. And look at life that way. Enjoy life. Enjoy it as you're getting it. Enjoy it as you're living it. As long as it makes you happy, as long as you are not doing harm to others, and loving and being supportive and service to others, you're going to do beautifully. Your karma is going to reflect that. If you're in a positive energetic state of vibration, you are going to attract people in a positive energetic state of vibration. If you're in a negative state of vibration and everything is awful and you are just miserable and everybody's miserable, who do you attract? Do you attract people that are positive and confident? No, you don't. They're not going to be around you because you're draining. You are sucking the life energy out of everything. You need to turn it around, look at what you're doing, and say, okay, wait a minute. I'm in charge of my vibration. I'm in charge of my life. I am the only one in charge of my life. Okay? So whatever situation you're going through is because that's what you've put yourself through. And sometimes that's intentional and sometimes it's not. And again, the people who come out ahead are the people who look back and go, I guess I learned that lesson. Okay, next, and then go with it. I'm not saying your life is going to be beautiful and hunky-dory. I don't know what you signed up for this life. Maybe you signed up for an awful life. And that's something your karma or your soul or whatever you want to call it was trying to do this lifetime. And if you accept that and just know, oh, okay, well, that's the way it's going to be, okay, then that makes it more liberating too, I think. But again, you do have free will. You can do what you want, and you need to realize that you're the one that's in charge of your life, your destiny, and what's going on. To have faithful and be trusting is to release attachment from your separate self. So again, trying to not look at, woe is me, Candy's so sad, blah, 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 but kind of step out of the situation and go, okay, well, what's going on in this variable? What's happening? And what can I do? Or what could I do? Or what could I look at differently? Or what can I do to improve this? And not look at yourself as the victim, but more as the person who's able to make those changes. And know that if you are in tune with yourself, you have the power to manifest whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's up to you. If you want to be miserable and you want to be sad and you want to be lonely, you're going to be miserable, sad, and lonely. If you are a positive, happy person, you're going to attract positive, happy people. And again, that's just my opinion. Using faith, use your faith in whatever your beliefs are. Like I said, my belief, I believe in reincarnation. I believe I'm coming back in another life. I believe if I died right now, that's okay. Would my family be horrified? Would my spouse and daughter and mother be horrified? Yes, it would be an emotional situation for them. but I know I will see them again in my next reincarnated life. And most of them know the same thing too, and they feel it. That's my belief. That's what I believe. So whatever you believe, whatever your beliefs are, if you believe in God, if you believe whatever you believe, use that faith to get you through the hard times, through the difficult times. And just know that there is a reason, there is a meaning, there is a plan, I believe, and it's being played out. And it's not as fast as I want it personally, but it is what it is. And just use your faith to keep track of the good in you, and the only person in control is you. My personal spiritual beliefs is that the planet is getting ready to move into a 5D state. We're currently in a 3D state. We're moving to a 5D state. So if you think of that like a radio station, a radio channel. Let's say there's channel 3, which is 3D, and now channel 5, which is 5D, where we're going to. Okay, I'm functioning at a 5D level radio station. Okay, my best friend is functioning at, she's still on channel 3. Okay, so when I try to talk to her about things on the channel I'm listening to at channel 5, she has no idea what I'm talking about. It doesn't make any sense to her because she's never heard it before. It doesn't resonate with her at all because she's still on channel 3. So no matter what I tell her, no matter how much proof I give her, no matter what information I share, she's not going to hear it. We're not on the same station. She doesn't resonate at all with what I'm saying. So what I've learned personally is you can only communicate with people who are willing to join your frequency, who are willing to join your radio station, who are willing to listen to that information. You can't force them to. If they're not ready to, or they don't want to, or they are just not going to, you need to let it go. Until they are ready to, they will not hear what you want to say. So nobody can do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. And it's a chemical process, alchemic chemical process of changing frequency. It's holding on to a higher frequency. And when you're doing that, you're fighting the dark energy. And so the higher up you go, you're having to fight that lower energy. And I believe the world is in a point where we are fighting the dark energy, and the world is getting higher frequency because more and more people are awakening, more and more people are seeing what's going on, more and more people are tapping into their spiritual gifts and guidance than ever before, and opening up to that idea or concept or belief. And I'm going to make another video talking about the Great Awakening to kind of explain a little bit if you're not really sure what that's about. If you're a person who's at a high frequency and you're always hanging on people with a low frequency, thinking you're going to raise their frequency, you probably will to some degree, but at some point they're just going to lower your frequency. So you want to make sure if you're trying to raise your frequency, you need to be around people that have high frequencies or higher than yours, and not let the people in low frequency take that away from you, because that's what they're going to do. Unintentionally, not on purpose, but you need to find somebody who's at your frequency or higher than you so you can get up there with them. And being aware of that and just consciously thinking that way will help you to stay in that positive, good energy that you want to be in, rather than coming down and being in that low negative energy, because it's so easy to go there and it's so hard to get back out of. Again, remember your life is the way it is because that's the way you are, and that's where you're resonating at. If you're in a negative 3D state, you need to get out of it, and the only person that can do that is you. Your light, as a light worker, as a person who is being spiritually risen in frequency, your light will influence others, and that's a good thing, because they're going to look and say, "Wow, why is that person so happy and everything goes right for them, and why did this happen?" And then if you're patient with them and let them see how you handle things, what your perspective is on things, then they will start to emulate that. They will start to say, "Oh, wait a minute, he never does say anything negative," or "Oh, he never does do this," or "Oh, he's always does this, he's always nice," or whatever it is that you're doing as a loving light worker. People are going to see it, and your light will impact and influence them. Using positive words, and this is very hard, our society or the evil in our society has drilled into us using negative words that are self-sabotaging and self-defeating, and we need to remember to be using loving, kind words to ourselves and to others. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not very healthy. What you need to say is, I am healthy. I am going to eat right. I am. Because you need to flip that switch. Because when you say I'm not healthy, that's what you're putting out in the universe. You're putting out in the universe that energy of negative, and it's going to come back negative. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm not healthy. I'm not healthy. I'm not healthy. I'm not. Next thing you know, you're not healthy, and then you're going, oh my God, I am not healthy. Wait a minute. Whoa, I'm not healthy. And how do you stop that now? You've created this cycle of I'm not healthy. I'm not healthy. I might as well have another piece of cake. I'm not healthy. Oh my gosh, I might as well quit exercising. You need to stop it and say, I am healthy. I am beautiful. I can eat healthy. I do eat healthy. I will eat healthy. I will exercise every day. I do exercise every day. Exercise is important to me. Eating healthy is important. Saying those words in a positive way, in a motivating way, and not beating yourself up about it, and just going every day by day and being positive and loving with yourself, being positive and loving with everyone around you, is how this world is going to change. I really believe that. Being negative and nasty and mean to people only creates more negative, nasty feelings, and that is the cycle that we've been conditioned to live in for the last eons. And we need to get out of it. So that is kind of my piece on that. Sorry, kind of jumped off the rail there and did a little impromptu there. So I don't know if any of that makes sense, if any of that resonates with you. If it does or doesn't, I would welcome your feedback and get information, but that's just my personal beliefs on that. And again, I'm growing like everyone all the time, and I'm learning more and more, but that's just how I choose to see it at this point in my growth. With that, if you do have any questions or concerns, or if you just want to share your experiences, I would love to hear about them. Please respond in the comments below, and I will be sure and get back to you. Until then, with love and light.